Welcome. This is a place where words are not only read, but felt, where meaning is unraveled and completed with secret. This is Antique Library Tasawwuf, a station that calls truths walking above time from centuries ago into the heart of today. Here, if a word makes your inside ache, it is real. If a sentence brings you back to yourself, it is true. And every episode exists to lift the veils of the nafs, layer by layer. Today I will speak to you about the sign of those who carry a burden that even mountains were not made to carry. Our subject is Capricorn. But this is not a story woven only with stars. This is a story woven with divine secrets. On this path, we will walk through Ibn Arabi's wisdom, through his understanding, because that great guide did not only read the heavens, he read hearts, and he treated every sign as an attribute, every temperament as a station of the nafs. Capricorn is the sign of those sent to the earth with a load on their back, the destiny of those who carry the weight on people's shoulders inside their own hearts, the mark of those who climb toward the peak yet are tested by loneliness. If you are filled with this sign, this episode will describe you to you. If you are not, perhaps you will finally understand a Capricorn in your life. But whatever the case, the words here do not come from stars. They come from secret. So open your heart, not just your mind, and listen. Because this is not only a narration, it is an invitation to recognize your burden and heal the road you are walking. If you are ready, we begin. And now I will take you beyond the stars, into a consciousness of responsibility to the heaviest side of the scale of the nafs. Because Capricorn is not only a sign, it is a stance that divine destiny places upon the earth, a walk tested with patience, shaped with seriousness, formed with determination. The path of Capricorn is not smooth. The steps are not light. Capricorn lives its destiny like a trust pressed against its chest. From the outside, it seems hard. From the inside, it is wounded. Even its smile is measured, because every smile is born under the shadow of responsibility. Before joy, it thinks of duty. Even when it receives good news, the first thought that crosses the mind is, what should I do with this now? Because its heart feels the weight first, then the emotion. In the Marifetname, Ibn Arabi describes the person of this sign as captivating yet inward. This is a striking summary of the calm you see on the outside and the turbulence within, because the Capricorn soul is like a mountain covered with snow, yet inside there is fire, silence on the outside, a boiling volcano within. You can see this contradiction in its eyes. It looks as if it is lost in the distance, yet it carries an intuitive depth that can sense the nearest pain. Its silence is not heedlessness, it is contemplation. Its quiet is not neglect. It is the way it carries its burden. And its loneliness is not being without anyone. It is preparation. for a higher existence. Because Capricorn grows when it is alone, the destiny of those born under this sign is to be tested not only by their own nafs, but by the burdens of others as well. Capricorn often wears itself down trying to save not itself, but its family, its surroundings, the people it feels responsible for. This is the reason for its loneliness, because everyone takes from it, but very few are able to give back. Its heart is constantly programmed to carry others. It is as if it is a kind of spiritual accountant. It makes the dua that others leave unfinished. It takes on the trust that no one else wants to carry. And while doing all of this, it expects nothing in return. Capricorn's deepest prayer is this: let me lighten everyone's burden without becoming a burden to anyone. This is a rare intention on this earth, and that is why people of this sign are often loved late, because their value is only recognized with time. They do not shine immediately. They do not have a sparkle that instantly wins hearts. But if you are patient, if you grow accustomed to a Capricorn, you begin to realize what a great refuge they are for you. They do not tell you they are there with words. They make you feel it by noticing the weight on your shoulders. They understand your pain before you speak it. They produce solutions before you even ask. Yet they do all of this invisibly and then quietly step back, because they are not here to be loved. They are here to fulfill their duty. According to the Murray-Fetnami, as understood through Ibn Arabi's lens of wisdom, the element of Capricorn is earth. But this is not merely a reference to matter. This earth represents sacred patience and resistance. It is filled with labor buried deep within it. Every step produces the result of a conscious waiting. Capricorn does not like rapid change, because its nature is inclined towards slow but deeply rooted transformations. It lives life like a tree, sending its roots downward. It does not rise upward without first going deep. That is why Capricorn's life is not filled with sudden happiness, but with joy that has been earned. It does not become spoiled. Even its joy is measured, because behind every beauty there is a price it has paid. A Capricorn does not answer the question, "What do you have?" It answers the question, "What did you endure for?" And now, let us draw a little closer to Capricorn, which stands upright even in the inner winters of its soul. Because the secret this sign carries is not needed only with responsibility, but with wisdom. Capricorn's role on earth is not merely to work, succeed, and endure. In its deepest meaning, Capricorn is the guardian of order. Just as the outward balance of the universe is established according to a divine order, Capricorn lives according to that same order. Its inner voice constantly asks this question, "Is what I am doing right?" And that is why Capricorn notices mistakes that others do not even see. In the middle of crowds, Capricorn hears a silence, and in that silence, it listens to its conscience. It is the one who thinks for nights about things people do without a second thought. Because Capricorn feels responsible not only for its own destiny, but for the destiny of others as well. In the Marifet name, the temperament of this sign is described as dignified, patient, and cautious. What a beautiful order, because Capricorn puts on dignity first, then patience, and only after that, caution. It carries even its emotions without showing them. If there is no panic in the middle of a crisis, there is probably a Capricorn there. Even if it is burning inside, it stays cool on the outside, because it knows panic makes you drop what was entrusted to you. That is why Capricorn chooses to hide its feelings. This is not weakness. It is a method. By controlling the storms within its soul, Capricorn chooses to become a shelter for others. Sometimes it falls silent, like a mountain. Sometimes it stands firm, like a rock. But remember, inside every mountain, there is a cave, and that cave opens only to those who seek the truth. If you are a Capricorn, know this too. Your strength is not in people thinking you are strong. Your strength is hidden in the exhaustion you never show anyone. That exhaustion does not destroy you. Instead, it turns you into stone, but it does not rot you. With time, you may crack, but you do not fall apart, because your patience is a divine patience. Your relationship with time is different from everyone else's. While others fall apart as time passes, you gather yourself as time passes. Because every time you feel worn down, it is a rebirth. Every collapse carries within it a new understanding of Tawhid. Capricorn's greatest secret is this: inside structures that seem unbreakable, it is the one who makes the most dua. When we look at the spiritual dimension of this sign, the names it draws closest to are Ya Hafiz and Ya Muqit. Ya Hafiz means the one who protects, watches over, and keeps all things preserved. And Capricorn watches over people, protects them, but it does not do it in a showy way. It lives inside a quiet guardianship. And Ya Muqit means the one who provides sustenance with measure, who delivers to every creation what it needs in the right portion. This name reflects the sense of balance and accounting within Capricorn. Capricorn lives by measuring life. It weighs its spending, its love, its time, even its pain, because it knows what is excessive breaks and what is lacking diminishes. It tries to keep everything in proper balance, but this is also what exhausts it, because only Allah truly knows the exact measure of all things. And while Capricorn searches for that measure, it can end up breaking its own inner scale. That is why, sometimes, when it makes dua, it should only whisper this: O Ya Hafiz, protect me from myself. O Ya Muqit, give me only what is enough for me. Capricorn is different in love too. Its love is not showy, but it is unshakable. When Capricorn loves someone, it already accepts from the beginning the idea of spending a lifetime with them. But this love does not appear easily, because Capricorn first tests, observes, and measures. It takes time for it to let someone into its heart, but once it does not let go. Its loyalty has been kneaded by time. Capricorn's love is not emotional, it is spiritual. Not words, but actions speak. If a Capricorn loves you, it may say it once, but it will prove it 1,000 times. And sadly, many times, it loves without expecting anything in return, because its love is like responsibility, something that must be carried. As Ibn Arabi points out, Capricorn tends to be careful about what is halal and what is haram, and deeply committed to family and community. Its inner discipline builds outer order. A Capricorn is like the pillar of a home. Where it stands, the roof does not collapse. But that pillar is often forgotten. The weight it carries is unseen. Its loneliness is mistaken for silence. Yet Capricorn does not make it a problem, because its reward is not people's praise, but the pleasure of its Rab. It knows this well. People forget, but Allah never forgets. And it walks with that belief. Even if no one sees the burden on its back, it keeps walking. Every step is a silent dua. Every patience is a prostration no one notices. If you are not of this sign, but you have a Capricorn in your life, you should feel gratitude toward them, because you may not notice their presence right away, but their absence will shake you. They support you without being seen. They guide you. They steady you, but they never make a show of it. Capricorn is the one who carries the one it loves. You do not have to thank them, but you do have to understand them, because Capricorn is the sign that explains itself the least, yet must be felt the most. And at the end of this episode, I want to tell you this. If everything in your life is tiring you, if responsibilities have bent your heart, and if you are being crushed under a burden you cannot explain to anyone, maybe there is a Capricorn living inside you. Because sometimes destiny speaks not through the sign, but through the soul. And sometimes a person becomes Capricorn not because of the sign they were born under, but because of the trials they have endured. If you are a Capricorn, do not forget this. Your loneliness is not abandonment. It is the space where your soul matures. People may struggle to understand you because your silences are as deep as your words. But know this, even your loneliness becomes healing for others. Capricorn is a symbol of carrying not only its own burden, but the burden of the Ummah. That is why it is understood so little in this world, yet it receives so many du'as. No one knows the exhaustion you carry in the depths of your heart. Maybe they do not, but Allah knows. And the heavier your burden is, the deeper your dua becomes. Know this, those duas pierce the heavens, because a burden carried from the inside makes a dua made from the inside greater. And that dua transforms you from a being that carries weight on its back into a being that grows wings. Ibn Arabi says, "The one who carries a burden cannot be understood by the one who carries none." This is exactly what that sentence means. It is the summary of Capricorn. No one can fully grasp the weight you carry, but that does not make you soon. On the contrary, it brings you closer to the truth, because the highest mountains are lonely. Yet that loneliness becomes a place where truth is witnessed. Capricorn's greatest test may look like success, but in reality, it is being able to tamel being alone. Climbing to the summit is not easy, but staying at the summit means passing through the noise of crowds and learning to live with silence. The more you endure that silence, the more Allah turns you from a being that carries weight into a being that carries light. And now, let us go a little deeper into that hidden cave inside Capricorn's heart, because in that cave, not only responsibility, but a wisdom born from silence is sleeping. Capricorn's real wealth collects in the places where it stays quiet. Its silence is not because it does not know. It is because it knows words are not enough. And sometimes staying silent is mercy. Capricorn learns this early, because even its childhood is heavier than other people's adulthood. Many Capricorns grow up early. They begin thinking, carrying, and understanding before their time. Even as a child, it asked itself, what is going to happen to all this? Because its soul was sent into this world not only to live, but to organize. A Capricorn carries an inner sadness throughout life because it cannot be like others. There are moments when it cannot laugh freely like its friends, cannot fully let go, cannot forget, even for a while. But then it gathers itself again, because an inner voice whispers, "You did not come to entertain yourself. You came to build." And in that moment, it realizes its destiny is not light. Yet like everything heavy, it is precious. Even Capricorn's pain is a noble pain. When it goes silent and advice echoes inside, your path is different. Do not get used to the way they live. Capricorn does not get used to it. It does not simply blend in. It does not lean toward the comfort of crowds, but toward the seriousness of the divine plan. In the descriptions found in the Marifetname, Capricorn is also emphasized as stable, yet inward and reserved. And this reserved nature is often mistaken for loneliness. But Capricorn is not lonely. It simply chooses few. Crowds are too much for it, because its inner world is already loud enough. The more it stays quiet in the outside world during the day, the more it talks to itself at night. Capricorn's nights are heavier than its days, because its dua, its regret, and its sujud are hidden in the night. While everyone sleeps, it is still trying to balance its mind, still doing inner accounting. Where did I fall short? Still trying to discipline itself. That is why even Capricorn's sleep does not come easily, because responsibility reaches even into its dreams. A person born under this sign lives with a quiet feeling inside, who will ever understand me? And sadly, that feeling often becomes true. It is hard to understand Capricorn because it does not present its emotions simply. It does not like excessive explanations. It does not shout what it loves. And it does not dramatize its pain. It keeps everything to itself. But one day, when it is truly broken, even its turning away is silent. If Capricorn turns its back on someone, that decision was not made in a single night. It endured for months, maybe years, because its heart does not give up easily. But once it gives up, it does not return. And this is what makes its love heavy, yet faithful. It often does not show the value it gives to the one it loves, because its love becomes visible through service. Capricorn plans ahead because it is thinking of you. It tightens itself so you can be comfortable. It watches every detail, so even the slightest chance of you feeling upset is removed. But it says only one simple sentence: "Are you okay?" And inside that sentence, dozens of sacrifices are hidden. When Capricorn loves you, it designs its home, its future, its soul around you. Yet it asks for very little in return. It even pushes its own needs into the background just to make you happy. That is why loving Capricorn takes courage. Because Capricorn does not break easily, but when it breaks, it leaves a mark. Its heart is not glass, and it is not stone. But if it shatters, it scatters like crystal, and it does not hold the same way again. Ibn Arabi says, "Truth places the heaviest burdens upon the quietest ones." And Capricorn is the carrier of that quietness. Sometimes you see a Capricorn in the middle of a crowd, sitting alone, but in its thoughts, it is carrying the weight of dozens of people. On one side, it is doing inner accounting. On the other, it is making dua so everyone will be okay, because it does not only think of itself, it thinks of the ummah. Its struggle with the nafs is not finished, yet it still wants to guide others. Capricorn carries the patience of a murshid and the dignity of a dervish. And in every movement it makes, there is a sense of amana, a trust, because its journey moves not only through the steps of the world, but through the layers of meaning. Capricorn is spiritually responsible too. For Capricorn, it is not enough to simply pray. It remembers the prayers it missed, and it grieves for them. It is affected not only by its own sins, but by the heedlessness of others as well. Sometimes the carelessness of people exhausts it so deeply that it stays silent for hours. Because the injustice in the world shakes Capricorn until its hope for this earth begins to fade. But then it rises again, because inside it there is an unending sense of duty. After every collapse, it stands up and says, "I still have work to do in this world." And it rises so quietly that no one notices, yet it begins walking again. Now, I want to leave a dua here for everyone who lives like Capricorn, who endures, carries, and does not speak. O my Rab, You who know those whose hearts grow heavy even before they break. O divine power, you who turn loneliness from a trial into a door of ascent. O mercy, you who turn burdens into secret and secrets into wisdom. Lighten the load on the backs of those who carry this destiny. Send a friend to those who are alone within crowds. Place words into the one who says, I have gone silent. Grant inspiration to the heart that says, I'm broken. Do not forget those who fulfill their duty and quietly step aside. Give sakina to the eyes of those who stay awake at night, and especially to your servants whom no one sees, yet you see. Tell them, I am here, because they are not in need of anything. They are only in need of you.